What if there was a ruler who proclaimed himself the emperor of a nation that never recognized him, yet he became a beloved legend in his city? We're diving into a world where power doesn't always play by the rules, and where monarchs are remembered not just for their crowns, but for their quirks and eccentricities. Welcome to the realm of the strangest rulers in history, where each story is a woven tapestry of intrigue and wonder. These tales captivate us, not just because of the power these rulers wielded, but because of the extraordinary ways they chose to wield it. Their stories are like mirrors reflecting the complexity of human nature and the unpredictable path of history. As we journey through these incredible narratives, we'll explore the curious dance between power and peculiarity. What drives a ruler to defy norms and embrace the unconventional? How do their unique stories shape the world we know today? In this video, we'll uncover the lives of monarchs whose unbelievable stories continue to mystify and inspire us. From mad kings and boy pharaohs to ruthless queens and self-proclaimed emperors, each ruler offers a glimpse into the kaleidoscope of human nature. So stick with us as we unravel these stories, one ruler at a time, and discover the hidden depths of eccentricity and legacy woven throughout history. Now turning to the tale of King Ludwig II of Bavaria, often called the Mad King, we find ourselves enveloped in a story that seems lifted straight from the pages of a fairy tale. Ludwig's fascination with constructing extravagant castles, each more whimsical than the last, earned him a reputation as a ruler deeply enchanted by beauty and art. Imagine Neuschwanstein Castle with its soaring spires and breathtaking views, an embodiment of his fantastical dreams. The king's architectural endeavors were not just mere constructions, they were manifestations of his inner world, filled with legendary heroes and epic sagas. Yet, this obsession came at a high cost, both financially for Bavaria and personally for Ludwig. His reign was marked by eccentricities that puzzled his ministers and subjects alike. While the world around him shifted towards modernity and practicality, Ludwig seemed content to retreat further into his imaginative creations. His love for Wagnerian operas and his extravagant lifestyle, often funded by personal loans, only amplified the perception of his disconnect from reality. But beneath this facade of whimsy lay a man tormented by inner demons. His mental health has long been a subject of speculation, with some historians suggesting he suffered from depression or other psychological challenges, which clouded his judgment and strained his leadership. His mysterious death, found dead in the shallow waters of Lake Starnberg under unclear circumstances, has only deepened the intrigue surrounding his life and reign. Despite the controversies, Ludwig's legacy endures, especially through the castles that continue to draw admirers from around the world. They stand as a testament to his indelible mark on history, where personal quirks have left a tangible impact felt even today. These fairy tale structures remind us of a ruler whose imagination knew no bounds and whose legacy lives on in the architectural wonders he left behind. As we move forward, bear in mind that Ludwig's story is just one thread in the rich tapestry of history, populated by rulers whose lives challenge conventional narratives and captivate us with their unique tales. Moving forward, we delve into the enigmatic world of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, often referred to as the Boy King. His life, shrouded in mystery for centuries, came to the forefront of the world's imagination with the dramatic discovery of his tomb in the early 20th century. This monumental find, spearheaded by archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922, unsealed a wealth of ancient treasures that mesmerized people globally and reignited a fervent interest in ancient Egyptian history. The tomb's opulence, filled with gold and artifacts, painted a vivid picture of a young ruler whose reign, though brief, continued to intrigue. Tutankhamun ascended to the throne at a tender age during a time of great upheaval in Egypt. His rule was marked by efforts to restore traditional polytheistic beliefs, which had been disrupted in the reign of his predecessor. Despite being thrust into power at such a young age, he attempted to bring stability to a kingdom in flux. The challenges he faced as a child pharaoh were immense, navigating political unrest and religious reforms in a terrain dominated by powerful advisors and officials. The circumstances of his early death add layers to the mystery surrounding him. Recent studies suggest he may have succumbed to a combination of genetic disorders and malaria, raising questions about his lineage and health. Expert analyses highlight that while his reign was short, its significance lies in the restoration of cultural and religious continuity in ancient Egypt. His burial, which was filled with such splendor, further underscores the reverence with which his contemporaries held him. Despite his brief life, the legacy of Tutankhamun endures, largely due to the timeless allure of his tomb's discovery. His story exemplifies how the narratives of certain rulers are only fully realized long after their reigns, as history continues to unfold their mysteries. As we ponder Tutankhamun's life and its impact, we recognize that at times the enduring mystery outlives the individual, capturing our fascination in an eternal dance with the past. Now turning to Queen Ranavalona I of Madagascar, her story vividly illustrates the extremes of power and governance. Known for her ruthless approach, she once ordered suspected traitors to undergo the Tangina ordeal, a brutal practice where the accused consumed poison, with survival indicating innocence. Such methods highlight her fierce grip on authority during a time when Madagascar was at a crossroads. Born in 1778, Ranevalona rose to power through a combination of shrewd politicking and strategic alliances. Her ascent to the throne was cemented by her marriage to King Ranavalona I, and upon his death she swiftly took control. Her reign, spanning over 33 years, was marked by a staunch resistance to foreign influence. She expelled Christian missionaries and curtailed European presence, intent on preserving Malagasy sovereignty and traditions. Ranavalona's rule was undeniably harsh, characterized by her use of fear and fierce isolationist policies to maintain control. Historians view her reign with complexity, as her actions, although severe, aimed to keep Madagascar free from colonial domination during a period of aggressive European expansion. Her leadership style leaned heavily on traditional practices, which in the eyes of her contemporaries protected the island's autonomy, but at a grave cost both in terms of human life and societal progress. Analysts suggest her legacy is nuanced, bearing both the marks of a tyrant and a protector. Under her leadership, Madagascar remained independent, but her methods left a lasting scar on its people. Despite the brutality, she fundamentally altered the course of Malagasy history, forging an identity that resisted external control. Her reign serves as a stark reminder of how power can be wielded in ways that defy conventional morality. As we examine her life, we see the unexpected ways in which rulers can influence the trajectory of their nations, each with their own distinctive imprint on history. As the narrative continues, it becomes evident that each ruler's approach to governance offers a unique window into the exercise of power throughout history. As the next chapter of our exploration unfolds, we delve into the extraordinary tale of Emperor Norton I of the United States, a figure both whimsical and transformative. Imagine San Francisco in the mid-1800s, a city bustling with the promise of the gold rush and the hustle of opportunity. In the midst of this vibrant chaos emerged a man named Joshua Abraham Norton, who in 1859 took the bold step of declaring himself Emperor of these United States and later Protector of Mexico. Norton's proclamations, often penned in local newspapers, were as imaginative as they were earnest. He demanded the dissolution of Congress for incompetence and even called for the construction of a bridge between San Francisco and Oakland, a vision that would eventually materialize as the Bay Bridge decades later. Despite lacking any formal authority, Emperor Norton was embraced by the people of San Francisco as a beloved eccentric. He wandered the city streets in his regal blue uniform, complete with epaulettes and a plumed hat, greeted with both respect and amusement. Local businesses honored his self-coined currency, a testament to his unique influence on the city's culture. Historians view Norton's reign as a fascinating intersection of myth and reality, where a self-appointed monarch wielded a power of sorts through charisma and wit rather than decree. His life raises intriguing questions about the nature of leadership and social contracts. What defines a ruler? Is it the recognition of peers or the acceptance of the public? Norton's tale illustrates how a whimsical challenge to societal norms can leave a lasting imprint. Impact extends beyond mere anecdotes. Emperor Norton was a unifying figure in a diverse and rapidly changing city, providing a shared narrative that transcended class and ethnicity. His story endures as a symbol of the power of imagination and community, a reminder that authority sometimes lies in the hands of those who dare to dream. As we reflect on Norton's legacy, it becomes clear that unconventional figures can profoundly shape cultural landscapes, often in ways that defy traditional governance. And much like Norton, other rulers throughout history have stepped beyond the conventional bounds of power, leaving legacies as intricate and fascinating as they themselves. Moving forward, we'll continue to explore how these non-traditional leaders have defied expectations and altered the course of history, each in their own extraordinary way. Moving forward, we journey into the intriguing life of King Charles VI of France, famously dubbed the Mad King. Imagine the grandeur of 14th century France, a time of opulence and strife where the shadows of war and political intrigue loomed large. Amidst this backdrop, Charles ascended the throne at the tender age of 11, initially poised to usher in an era of prosperity for the French crown. However, his reign soon took a dramatic turn as he succumbed to recurrent episodes of mental instability, profoundly impacting his leadership and the fate of his kingdom. The whispers of his delusions were emblematic of his most famous affliction, a haunting belief that he was made entirely of glass, vulnerable to shattering with even the slightest touch. This condition was not merely a personal struggle but a national crisis, significantly affecting the governance and stability of France. His episodes of madness led to periods where he was unable to fulfill his royal duties, leaving a void in leadership during critical times. As a result, the political landscape of France became a labyrinth of shifting alliances and internal conflicts, with rival factions vying for control over the king's incapacitated authority. Historians have long debated the precise nature of Charles's illness, delving into contemporary accounts to piece together the psychological puzzle. In an era where mental health was not understood, his condition was often attributed to supernatural causes or divine punishment. This perception not only shaped public opinion but also influenced the decisions of those around him, weaving a complex tapestry of rumor and reality into the chronicles of his reign. The court became a theater of power struggles, with regents and nobles attempting to manipulate the king's fragile state for their own political gain. Despite the chaos, Charles's reign left an indelible mark on the history of France. His turbulent rule coincided with the 100 Years' War, a conflict that strained the resources and morale of the French people. Yet, in the shadow of his madness, Charles managed to fortify his legacy through the enduring influence of his consort, Isabel of Bavaria, and later through the efforts of his son Charles VII, who would ultimately drive the English forces from French soil. The story of King Charles VI sheds light on the vulnerability and humanity of monarchs, reminding us that they, too, are susceptible to the same frailties as any other person. His life serves as a poignant reflection on how personal struggles can ripple into public crises, altering the course of history in unforeseen ways. As the sun rises on the next chapter, we delve into stories of rulers whose personal adversities became a matter of public spectacle, further exploring the intricate dance between power, perception, and personal tribulation. As the next challenge unfolds, we turn our gaze to the extraordinary tale of Zenobia, the indomitable queen of Palmyra. Picture the ancient city of Palmyra, nestled in the heart of the Syrian desert, a thriving trade hub and a beacon of cultural splendor. Against this vibrant backdrop, Zenobia rose to prominence, a formidable leader with the audacity to challenge the mighty Roman Empire. Her story begins with a bold declaration of independence from Rome, a proclamation that echoed through the vast reaches of her realm. Zenobia's defiance was not just an act of rebellion but a strategic maneuver, rooted in her keen understanding of power dynamics and a vision for Palmyra's sovereignty. Her rise to power was marked by astute political alliances and an expansionist agenda that extended Palmyra's influence across the eastern Roman provinces. Under Zenobia's leadership, Palmyra blossomed into a formidable empire, rivaling the grandeur and might of Rome itself. She was not only a queen but a military strategist, leading her troops with a skill and charisma that inspired loyalty and respect. Her ambition knew no bounds as she sought to establish an empire that rivaled the great civilizations of the ancient world. However, her bold venture inevitably caught the ire of Rome, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation with Emperor Aurelian. The ensuing conflict was a testament to Zenobia's resilience and strategic acumen. Despite the eventual fall of Palmyra, Zenobia's legacy endured, a symbol of resistance and courage against a seemingly invincible foe. Historians and scholars have long debated the nuances of her reign, exploring the complex interplay of ambition, strategy, and the inevitable weight of imperial power. Zenobia's story challenges us to consider the limits of power and ambition, and what it means to stand firm against overwhelming odds. Her legacy serves as a poignant reminder of the indomitable spirit of those who dare to defy the status quo in pursuit of a vision greater than themselves. As we reflect on Zenobia's remarkable journey, we are left with questions that continue to resonate through the ages. What is the true cost of ambition, and at what point does resistance transcend into defiance? Now turning to another chapter, we explore how ambition continues to shape the legacies of rulers throughout history. Moving forward, we delve into the enigmatic reign of Ivan IV of Russia, a ruler whose name resonates with both awe and dread, Ivan the Terrible. His reign began with promise and ambition, marked by significant territorial expansions and internal reforms that strengthened the Russian state. Ivan's early successes, including the conquest of Kazan and Astrakhan, paved the way for Russia's emergence as a formidable power in Eastern Europe. However, as his reign progressed, the shadow of his infamous Oprichnina policy loomed large, forever altering the course of Russian history. The Oprichnina was a policy that divided Russia into two parts, one under Ivan's direct control and the other managed by traditional nobility. Ivan, in a bid to consolidate power and eliminate perceived threats, established a separate administration and a personal guard known as the Oprichniki. These men operated with brutal efficiency, instilling fear and chaos as they purged the courts, often through violent and arbitrary means. Under the specter of Oprichnina, entire towns were decimated, and countless lives were lost, contributing to the atmosphere of terror that characterized Ivan's latter years. This descent into paranoia is a central theme in Ivan's legacy, reflecting a ruler who, despite his early brilliance, succumbed to the darker impulses of tyrannical power. Historical texts portray Ivan as a complex figure, plagued by a volatile temperament and growing suspicion of those around him. His psychological state, as analyzed by historians, appears to have been a driving force behind his increasingly erratic and ruthless actions. This narrative challenges us to explore the delicate balance between power and tyranny, a balance that Ivan ultimately tilted towards despotism. Ivan the Terrible's reign offers a window into the complexities of leadership, where the pursuit of power can simultaneously uplift and destroy. His story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the potential for great ambition to lead to unimaginable cruelty and oppression. In examining Ivan's legacy, we confront questions of morality, governance, and the human capacity for both creation and destruction. His reign invites reflection on the nature of authority and how the unchecked exercise of power can transform visionaries into tyrants. As the sun rises on the next chapter of our exploration, we turn our attention to other rulers with similarly complex legacies, each offering unique insights into the multifaceted nature of leadership throughout history. As the sun rises on the next chapter of our exploration, we find ourselves in the mesmerizing world of the Ottoman Empire, where the story of Sultan Ibrahim I unfolds. Known historically as Ibrahim the Mad, his reign is a captivating tale of opulence and unpredictability. His rule, spanning a brief period, is marked by extravagant spending and erratic decisions that paint a vivid picture of a ruler trapped by his own excesses. Ibrahim ascended the throne under peculiar circumstances, having been confined to the caves, a secluded part of the palace, for much of his early life. This upbringing left him ill-prepared for leadership and perhaps contributed to the eccentricities that characterized his rule. His fascination with luxury knew no bounds. One account tells of his obsession with sable furs, leading him to buy an extraordinary number of furs at great cost to the state's treasury. Such indulgence represented not only his love for grandeur, but also a disconnect from the practical needs of his empire. Sultan Ibrahim's reign saw several questionable policies, driven by his whims rather than the empire's needs. His penchant for lavish spending strained the treasury and led to heightened discontent among the ruling elite and military. Historians often describe his leadership as being profoundly influenced by those around him, as Ibrahim demonstrated little interest in governance. Consequently, his rule was manipulated by court favorites and powerful advisors, each seeking their own fortune and influence at the empire's expense. From a historical perspective, Ibrahim's tenure as Sultan presents a cautionary narrative on the perils of unchecked power and the effects of personal flaws on governance. The ramifications of his reign were far-reaching, setting the stage for internal conflict and weakening the empire's structure. This story serves as a poignant reminder of how deeply personal traits can influence leadership, leading to both the rise and fall of empires. As we ponder Ibrahim's legacy, we are drawn to consider the broader implications of how personal and leadership qualities shape historical trajectories. The intricate dance between personal ambitions and public duty is a recurring theme among rulers. As we reflect on Sultan Ibrahim's story, we are reminded of the profound impact a leader's personal life can have on the fate of a nation, prompting us to explore further stories of rulers whose private struggles played out on the grand stage of history. This transition smoothly leads us into a broader examination of monarchs whose personal lives irreversibly transformed their realms, offering rich insights into the complex interplay of personality, power, and history. As the next chapter in our tale unfolds, we turn our gaze to the rugged landscapes of southern Africa, where the legend of Shaka Zulu, the warrior king, takes center stage. Shaka's revolutionary approach to warfare redefined combat in the region, leaving an enduring mark on history. Born into the small Zulu clan, Shaka's early life was shaped by hardship and a relentless quest for power. His innovative tactics were nothing short of groundbreaking. One such strategy involved the introduction of the ikulwa, a shorter stabbing spear that replaced the traditional, cumbersome throwing spear. This alteration allowed warriors to engage in close combat, increasing their effectiveness on the battlefield. Beyond weaponry, Shaka's tactical genius lay in his formation strategies. The bullhorn formation, where warriors attacked the enemy from the sides while a central force engaged head-on, showcased his ability to outmaneuver opponents with precision and coordination. Shaka's leadership extended beyond military prowess. He cultivated a sense of unity and identity among the Zulu people, transforming a fragmented clan into a formidable kingdom. His rise to power was marked by a series of strategic alliances and conquests, each further consolidating his influence. Yet, Shoka's rule was also characterized by its harshness and eventual downfall. His demand for absolute loyalty and ruthless suppression of dissent sowed the seeds of internal strife. As his reign progressed, paranoia set in, leading to increasingly erratic decisions that alienated even his closest allies. His assassination was a tragic culmination of these tensions, marking the end of a dynamic but tumultuous era. Shoka's legacy in African military history is profound. Experts often cite his contributions as pivotal to the evolution of warfare in the region, influencing both contemporary battles and future military strategies. His story is a testament to the power of innovation in leadership, highlighting how a bold vision can reshape the course of history. As we reflect on Shoka's life, we are reminded of the dual nature of influence, how visionary leadership can drive unprecedented change, yet also how unchecked power can sow the seeds of one's downfall. Shoka's narrative invites us to consider the legacy of military leaders and how their contributions to warfare continue to echo through time, sometimes with reverence and sometimes as cautionary tales for future generations. Moving forward, we delve into the lives of other rulers who left their mark through military innovation, illustrating the complex interplay between power, legacy, and the relentless march of history. Moving forward, we find ourselves amidst the lush, tropical beauty of Hawaii, where the tale of Queen Liliuakalani, the Forgotten Queen, unfolds. Her story resonates with themes of courage, resilience, and the bitter taste of political upheaval. As the last sovereign of the Hawaiian kingdom, Queen Liliuakalani ascended the throne during a turbulent period marked by increasing foreign influence and internal discord. Her reign began with a heartfelt dedication to restoring power to the Hawaiian monarchy, a vision that was both bold and deeply rooted in her love for her homeland. One of the most poignant moments of her reign was her attempt to implement a new constitution. This bayonet constitution, as it was known, aimed to reduce the control of foreign powers and restore the authority of the monarchy. However, her efforts were met with formidable resistance from those who had grown accustomed to the status quo, culminating in a coup that led to her dethronement. The overthrow of Queen Liliuakalani was a seismic event in Hawaiian history, marking the end of the monarchy and the beginning of a new era of foreign dominance. Her dethronement stands as a testament to the challenges that rulers face when navigating the treacherous waters of political change. Despite being stripped of her power, Queen Liliuakalani remained an enduring symbol of dignity and resistance. She worked tirelessly to advocate for her people's rights and preserve the cultural heritage of Hawaii, penning many songs and writings that continue to inspire. Historians often reflect on Queen Liliuakalani's leadership as emblematic of the struggle between tradition and modernity, illustrating the difficult balance rulers must strike in times of change. Her legacy is not merely one of loss but also one of transformation, as her efforts to protect Hawaiian culture and sovereignty laid the groundwork for the cultural renaissance that would follow. As we reflect on her story, we are reminded of the intricate dance between power and identity, and how the legacies of rulers continue to shape the narratives of their nations long after their reigns have ended. With the themes of loss and transformation in mind, we turn our attention to other monarchs whose reigns were shaped by the tides of change, exploring how their unique stories contribute to the rich tapestry of history. As the sun rises on the next chapter, we reflect on the fascinating stories of some of history's most unusual rulers. Each monarch we have explored lived a life full of paradoxes, where eccentricities often intertwined with immense power and occasional madness. From King Ludwig of Bavaria, with his ethereal castles lost in the mist of fairy tales, to Emperor Norton, who reigned without power but left an indelible cultural mark, these stories underscore the unpredictability that often accompanies leadership. The tales of Tutankhamun and Charles VI remind us of the mysteries and madness that can define political life and the enduring passions that rulers must navigate. The fierce defiance of Zenobia and the transformative visions of Queen Liliuakalani speak to the strength and resilience required to stand firm in the face of overwhelming odds. Each story has been a window into the diverse approaches to governance and the unique ways in which power is exercised, challenged, and remembered. As we reflect on these narratives, we see how the legacies of these rulers continue to echo through time, shaping the cultural and political landscapes of their nations. In considering their legacies, we recognize the broader themes that these rulers represent: the delicate balance of eccentricity and authority, the struggle for legacy amidst change, and the ever-present dance between tradition and revolution. These stories challenge us to reconsider what leadership means, and they remind us that history is a tapestry woven from threads of courage, folly, ambition, and grace. As you think about these remarkable rulers and the marks they left on history, consider the complexities of power and the impact of their individual quirks on their lasting influence. We invite you to delve deeper into these intriguing stories and uncover more about the lives and times of these unforgettable figures. If you found these narratives as captivating as we did, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us which ruler's story resonated with you the most and why. Thank you for exploring history with us, and until next time, keep questioning and exploring the strange yet wonderful tales of our past.